Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, I'm trying something a little bit different today. Instead of using my regular pixelated background, I'm using some footage I recorded while camping. And I'm also using a different camera and trying that one out as well. So let me know your thoughts about both in the comments below. So first up here, we're talking about Denuvo. Now we talked about Denuvo the other day when they decided to open up their own Discord server. And a lot of people were wondering why they decided to do this. And a lot of people had some very negative reactions to it. And it turns out a lot of people ended up trolling their Discord server. Now, interestingly, they had a post on Twitter and someone commented here, taking bets on how long before they turn off invites. I'll say 48 hours. Well, it turns out that this person was 100% correct. Now, this is making headlines in a few different areas. For example, over here on PC Gamer, they say Denuvo opens its Discord server to rehabilitate its image, has to shut it down 2 days later after players flood in to bully it. So here's Denuvo's official response over on Twitter. They say, wow, nearly 2,000 people on the server. Thank you so much for your interest in this experiment. I'm wondering how many of those 2,000 are actually interested in Denuvo and support it. Anyways, they say, we are sorry that we've had to pause posting messages for now. As you can imagine, the amount of inappropriate content has made moderation quite challenging for our small team, who are doing this alongside our regular day-to-day work. For that reason, we've decided to make some changes to the server, which we'll be implementing over the next few days. Stay tuned. So based on my understanding of the entire situation, it appears that their Discord is still active. It hasn't necessarily been shut down, but they have disabled the ability to post messages on it. So you can take a look at it, you just can't say anything. And I'm wondering if that's going to change or if they're just going to delete their Discord. In my opinion here, the easy move for them would just be to delete the Discord. I'm assuming any changes they make to allow anyone posting is going to result in the same problem they had before. But let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. Do you think opening a Discord was the right move for Denuvo, or do you think it was a big mistake? And what do you think is going to happen with it moving forward? But moving on from that, and next up we're talking about Spider-Man 2, and Insomniac has just announced that Spider-Man 2 will be launching on PC on January 30th, 2025. Now, for those who may not be aware, this game was part of the huge Insomniac leak from a while back, and some people have already made the unofficial PC port playable on PC. And I'm very curious to see what's going to be different between the unofficial PC port of this game and, well, the official PC port of this game. It is worth pointing out that taking a look at the Steam store page for Spider-Man 2, and I can see that it requires a third-party account, which is the PSN account. So this game does require PSN. So based on everything I'm seeing here, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that moving forward for PlayStation games on PC, you're going to need a PSN account. Modders have proven that PSN accounts aren't necessary to run the game. I think it's just a PlayStation thing. But at the same time here, I'm just hoping that this remains a free PSN account and not some sort of paid subscription service. That could be a big problem. But moving on, and next up we're talking about Black Myth: Wukong, and it appears that there's going to be a physical version of this game launching on PS5 very shortly. As a quick refresher, Black Myth: Wukong launched on August 20th of this year, and there were a number of controversies surrounding this game. But overall, it's been very well reviewed. I mean, on Steam here, it's got an overwhelmingly positive review score with over 700,000 reviews. So it seems like a whole lot of people really enjoy this game. If you play it, if you enjoy it, let me know your thoughts about it in the comments below. And on a quick side note, this game does have Denuvo, which interestingly is a segue into the next thing I'm talking about, Denuvo again. So over on Twitter, or X, Pirate Nation is accusing Denuvo of something pretty bad. Now, there's a series of tweets about this one. A lot of people have started talking about it, and I'm very curious to know if this is actually true or just something made up. Unfortunately, I don't know what's true, what's not, if these are baseless accusations or what is going on here. But I will say, if these accusations are true, this is very damaging for Denuvo. But moving on from that, and next up, we're talking about the whole Pokemon massive leak, the Game Freak leak, or as a lot of people are still calling it, the Freak leak. It appears that the Pokemon Let's Go source code has been released. Now, this doesn't include assets or developer documents, but it is the source code for the game, and I find that very interesting. I mean, it just seems that these leaks are trickling out, and I don't see an end in sight yet. It just seems that there's a whole lot of files that were compromised, and, well, they're being drip-fed to the whole internet. A debug near final version of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl for PC has been leaked online, and an early prototype build of Pokemon Legends Arceus for PC has been cracked and is now playable. And I don't know what's going to happen next. And speaking about next up here we're talking about the Internet Archive, and it appears that the Internet Archive has been hacked again. And this is through a stolen access token. So full details about the hack are up over on bleepingcomputer.com, and like everything I talk about, link will be in the description below right at the bottom. It appears someone got the authentication tokens from the GitLab configuration file and used that to exploit a whole bunch more stuff. Now, based on my understanding of the entire situation here, it appears that Internet Archive knew about the issue and didn't do anything to fix it. This is straight from the hacker. It's dispiriting to see that even after being made aware of the breach 2 weeks ago, Internet Archive has still not done the due diligence of rotating many of the API keys that were exposed in their GitLab secrets. Whether you were trying to ask a general question or requesting the removal of your site from the Wayback Machine, your data is now in the hands of some random guy. If not me, it'd be someone else. So let me know your thoughts about this one. Do you think the Internet Archive is at fault here for not fixing their stuff when they were notified about it? Do you think a 2-week period is long enough for them to fix this stuff, or do you think they weren't given enough time? I personally think that they had time to fix things and they probably should have taken everything a lot more seriously. But who knows here? It's just, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but it seems that they really need to beef up their security. Next up, we're talking about Nintendo 3DS emulation on Android with Panda 3DS, and in my opinion, this is absolutely huge news. They say here, the first official Panda 3DS Android builds are now up for download. Now, it's worth pointing out that Panda 3DS is not a Citra fork. It's its own thing here, and in my opinion, this is massive news for 3DS emulation, and massive news for 3DS emulation on Android. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. I'm assuming that compatibility isn't going to be perfect just yet. I mean, this emulator is still kind of technically in early development. But at the same time here, this is massive for the 3DS emulation scene. And on a side note here, if you are curious about what games work with Panda 3DS, you can head right over to GitHub and they do have a compatibility tracker. I'll drop a link to that in the description below as well. So if you click on label here and click on status playable, it'll give you a list of every single game that is listed as playable, and there are some pretty heavy hitters on here. Next up, we're talking about a brand new game that was just announced called Chronos: The New Dawn. This game is being made by the Bloober team and releasing in 2025. If the Bloober team name sounds familiar, it's because they were behind the new Silent Hill 2 remake, and they've got a very interesting perspective moving forward. They say here in an interview with GameSpot that they're done making shitty games, and Silent Hill 2 Remake wasn't a fluke. So I'm hoping that this brand new game here, Chronos: The New Dawn, is going to be good, but who knows? Let me know your thoughts about this one, and let me know your thoughts about the Silent Hill 2 remake in the comments below. I mean, taking a look on Steam here, it's been very well received. The remake was launched on October 8th of this year, and it's got an overwhelmingly positive review score with over 14,000 reviews, and that's the highest review score you can get on Steam. Moving on, and next up, we're talking about Wii U emulation on Android with the unofficial version of Cemu. And the unofficial version of Cemu right now, it's unofficial because it's currently in development and not supported by the Cemu team, just got an update to support the Mali chip. So I could be wrong here, but I'm assuming that this is exciting news for people who've got Mali GPUs and who wanted to play Cemu on their phones. Now, from my understanding, this is for both Exynos and Mali, and I'm assuming here that it's going to work for non-Exynos chips as well. I haven't tested this one out yet. It is the unofficial version of Cemu, and I'm assuming we're going to see a whole bunch of test videos pop up on YouTube relatively soon. And speaking about Android, next up here, we're talking about Carrion. Now, Carrion released back in 2020. It's got a very positive review score over on Steam with over 20,000 reviews. And this game is now headed to Android and also iOS. Now, Devolver's trailer on this one does not reveal a release date, but there is some very interesting information here. They say try for free and buy forever, so this is not a microtransaction game. And they confirm that also by saying no coins or hearts required. So this is just going to be a single purchase. It's not a free-to-play model or anything like that. At least I don't think so. I mean, right on Google Play, it says try Carry On for free with no ads, then unlock the full game and DLC with a single in-app purchase. No gems, hearts, or virtual currency required. Let me know your thoughts about that one. And last up here, I don't know if I've been living under a rock or something, but I wasn't aware about this and it's surprising to me. Apparently for some models of LG monitors, I don't know if it's for other monitors or just LG, you have to accept a user agreement. I mean, this person tweets out, I love being in the middle of work when my monitor asks me to accept user agreements. And that to me is wild for a frickin' monitor. Like, what do they even need? So taking a closer look at the monitor here, and I don't see a built-in webcam. I don't see built-in speakers. Maybe they have them, who knows here. But looking at the user agreements, and there are some points of concern. One says voice information agreement, and the other one says interest-based cross-device advertising agreement. Why would a monitor need to serve you ads? I don't get this day and age in terms of this stuff. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. Looking at this, I would swear it has nothing to do with a monitor whatsoever and maybe a different program or something. But apparently this is for a monitor, and to me this is wild. Now let's look at this scenario here. Someone buys this monitor, they plug it in, they set it up, they just want to use it, and then this pops up and they don't agree with it. They don't agree with the viewing information agreement, the voice information agreement, the interest-based and cross-device advertising agreement. And I think that says aspect privacy policy. Let's say they don't agree with any of that stuff and they just click no, or I guess later here. Does that mean the monitor just won't work for them? Will it not work at all? Will it turn off? What the heck happens here? Why is this stuff baked into the monitor? Now, I'm not going to lie here. I went down a bit of a rabbit hole looking at all of this and investigating and trying to figure all of this out, and I'm still baffled by it. So looking here, it does appear that there is a microphone on this one. There is AI integrated in on it, and I'm assuming that agreement has to do with the AI and all of that stuff. But at the same time here, is all of this necessary for a monitor? I really don't think so. This is a whole bunch of stuff, in my opinion, that doesn't need to be packed in. And without all of this stuff being packed in, it would greatly reduce the price of the monitor. I don't know here. Maybe this person wanted it. Maybe whatever company they're working for wanted this kind of monitor. I am just baffled by the current state of AI and the licensing agreements in a freaking monitor and all of that. Let me know all of your thoughts about this one in the comments below. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. Let me know your thoughts about the new camera I'm testing out. I will be reviewing it in a future video. Let me know your thoughts about this new style of background. Do you like it? Do you like it animated or do you like it paused? And let me know your thoughts about anything we talked about, because we did talk about a bunch. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate. Save your state.